Greetings from Feni for the Soul, and welcome back for yet another video story. This time it's about school teachers. You will all agree that school teachers make almost the maximum impact on our lives because they lay the foundation for our future lives. So today I'm going to speak about two of my favorite teachers, the late Mrs. Stella Freitas, who passed away in 2012 at the age of 88. And Mrs. Celine D'Sa, who passed away in June this year, 2021, at the age of 96. They led full lives and very quality lives, and they had a huge impact on all the hundreds of students that they taught in the St. Vincent's High School, Pune. I'm in fact wearing my school t-shirt. This is the St. Vincent's High School Pune school t-shirt. It's a very fine Jesuit institution in Pune. Now, through this video story, I'm going to be narrating and sharing some anecdotes concerning these two teachers, which will tell you why they were so special. It will also remind you of your own teachers. I'm sure, the own teachers who have taught you in school, maybe in college, and who have had a big impact on your life. So sit back and enjoy this video story. So here you have this wonderful, teachers. The Mrs. Freitas is the one in blue on my right, and Mrs. D'Sa the one in red on my left. And they are in front of our school building, the St. Vincent's High School, Pune. Now, this anecdote deals with Mrs. Freitas. We were in class 7, and she was our class teacher in grade 7, and we had a new arithmetic teacher, who had come just returned from UK. Now, what had happened is she had a strong UK accent, and she had a different style of teaching, so it didn't go down very well with the boys, and they were very noisy. We were very noisy for a couple of lectures, and that upset the teacher, who just walked off and said that she wouldn't teach two very important chapters, and which would come in the unit test that very Saturday. So the unit test came, and all of us obviously failed. Now, Mrs. Freitas, who was our class teacher, was very disturbed and upset about all this because it was her class. So, but true to her pedigree, she did not confront this new teacher from UK, and instead, on a Monday, she walked in and said that she would take those two mathematics chapters. She would teach us those two maths chapters. Now, you must understand that Mrs. Freitas was not a maths teacher, but over the weekend she had worked on that on those chapters. Probably taken help from Mrs. D'Sa, who was a good friend and a very fine maths teacher, and she taught us those two chapters. We passed the next unit test in flying colors, and that's the kind of commitment Mrs. Freitas brought to her job. It's quite fascinating. I will move on to a very interesting anecdote. We were in we finished our grade 7, and we went on a school trip. Some of us went on a school trip to Sri Lanka. And it was very interesting. We were at this Egmore station, and meaning our bogie was in one of the sidings in Egmore station. And this is a lovely photo shot by Pratyeka on Wikipedia. So we were on the siding, and we were told very clearly that nobody steps out of the bogie, because our bogie was to be attached to a Rameshwaram Express in the evening. And we were told that as locomotives were shunting on the neighboring tracks, nobody was to get down from the bogie. But I have a classmate called Salamat Irani. He runs a very popular Parsi bakery in Pune, and a very mischievous boy that he was. So what he said is, no, Rahul, I want to go and put a coin on the track, and I want to see what happens when the locomotive passes it. I said, you can't do that. But never mind. He just got down from the bogie and went there. So I ran after him, more worried about his safety, and in an attempt to get him back. Sure enough, he put the coin, the locomotive came, flattened it. He took that flattened coin in his handkerchief. We went back and the teachers were waiting for us. Very, very upset. So as soon as we came to the bogie, both Mrs. Freitas and Mrs. D'Sa, who are our supervisors for the Sri Lanka trip, they gave us 2 tight slaps, one tight slap each, and relegated us to one corner of the bogie, saying sit there for a whole hour. Now I was devastated because I've never been slapped before, by any teacher, because I was a first bencher and a disciplined boy. But Salamat was a backbencher and very mischievous. So he was used to this. And within 15-20 minutes, he was doing the Tarzan, jumping from one bird to the other and swinging rather from one bird to the other. But anyway, that was the strictness and discipline that these 2 teachers brought to the table. Moving forward, there is a very interesting anecdote about the humility of both of these teachers, on the same Sri Lanka trip. And we had visited this lovely hill station. I have this photograph here, which you can see. This is a photo of March 2019, when I visited Lanka again to take part in an Ironman triathlon, which I participated in Colombo. Now, this is a heritage hotel, and we stayed in this hotel in 1977 as schoolboys. The time we went in the month of May, there were some summer showers and very heavy summer showers, and most of us boys got drenched to the core. Some of us developed a fever overnight, and a cold and a fever. And on this trip, we were used to, boys were trained to wash their own clothes, because it's a 15-day or a 18-day trip. But the teachers didn't allow us to. Mrs. D'Sa and Mrs. Freitas did not allow us to take a bath that night, and also said that your clothes you give to us, we will wash them. And we were astounded, we were very, very shocked. And we said, no, we protested. You can't do that, miss, and as we used to call them. And they said, no, nothing doing. You guys go back, you go to your bed, go to bed, eat your food, take your tablet and go to bed, and we'll do the clothes. And they actually washed the clothes. So you understand, for them, we were not mere students. We were like their sons, and that they were like our mothers who were in charge of us and, responsible for us on this trip. And that is the humility they brought to their jobs. It's completely astounding. I'll move on to something which is a little more personal with Mrs. D'Sa this time. Our school, St. Vincent's High School, has been a champion school, in sports. And this is a photograph of a 1977 championship. Our athletics, inter-school athletics championship team, which they won the Pune School's athletic championship. So, I always aspired to get into the athletics team in school, but I could never make the cut because the competition was so stiff. And so I was always disappointed. And, I used to kind of complain to Mrs. D'Sa. And one day she took me aside and said, listen, Rahul, that's all right. You made the effort, you don't get into the team, it's okay. Why don't you instead, because you love English, why don't you become a sports reporter? Why don't you report on what these boys are doing in the field? And if you do that, then you can write for the school magazine every month. Now, she was the editor of the school magazine called the Vincent. I'll show you that. This is our, over 100 years old school magazine. Now, she was the editor, and she made me write sports reports. And she gave me a lovely byline called Sports Reporter Rahul. And every month I used to report on whatever the school did in hockey, football, basketball, athletics, all of that, because we were such a champion school. And it was such a exhilarating feeling, because very flattering also, because senior school boys, I was in grade 8, mind you. And senior boys from grade 11 and 12 started coming to me and saying, hey, listen, my name is Anthony so-and-so or Michael so-and-so. Why don't you, I've scored 2 goals in this football game. Why don't you write my name clearly, in the report and Thank you for that, and that kind of stuff. So I realized the power of the press also at a very young age. Anyway, it was very fascinating. Mrs. D'Sa, I have a nice photo here of the two of us. Yeah, this is a photo I took in Mrs. D'Sa's Pune house in March of 2019, after I came back from a successful Ironman triathlon in Sri Lanka, and she was very happy that, you know, while I couldn't make the school athletics team, I had, you know, I had finally become an Ironman triathlete, you know, into my 50s. So this was a very lovely moment, you know, we had a lovely discussion. Now, to complete my story, Mrs. D'Sa encouraged me to write for the local newspaper in Pune called the Pune Herald when we were in school, and then it became the Maharashtra Herald, and later became the Sakal Times, the same paper. And she encouraged me to write for the paper, and I started writing in grade 10 at the age of 15. I started writing feature stories for this newspaper. And lo and behold, at the age of 49, I became editor of the same paper, the Sakal Times. And when I went and broke the news to her in 2012, there wasn't a happier person on this planet, you know, and you can understand why. So they were giants, you know, they were absolutely special. Let me come to the last story, you know, in this video series, and it's quite interesting. This is our school logo, you know, Vincent. And we have metal badges, you know, schoolboys get metal badges, steel badges of this if they want. But we in 2005 we had a silver jubilee of our batch, and we had collected money from all our students, and we gave gift checks to all our teachers as a feeling of gratitude, and also to the staff in school. Now the teachers were happy, of course, but we were in for a surprise, because there was a Mrs. D'Sa did a return gift actually, and the return gift was she had collected money from the teachers and gone and got placed an order for some 125 of these metal badges, and the teachers went around that hall that day, our Gulati hall in school, and gave us these metal badges. We were completely flummoxed and surprised. We were completely taken by surprise, and we were very, very emotional that evening. And now I'll show you a video where these wonderful teachers, Mrs. D'Sa speaks, gives a very short speech, and then all the teachers sing for our goodness, and it's very, very, it gives us goosebumps, because it shows the humility of the teachers, and it shows their love and affection for us, so it's quite special. So enjoy the video. And on this note, I would like to say that I hope this video reminds you of your own teachers in school, possibly in college, and for all that they have done for all of you in your formative years. So enjoy the video, and thank you for being on our platform.
Your love and affection, your gratitude for the little, for us, that is the thanks that we get, that we have been a part of your life. If you look at the teachers of yesteryears, many of them are not very well off for that same reason. But we are really thankful that we've had boys who have appreciated what little that we have done for them. Wives, you have to say thank you to us many times more for what we have given you. And if they misbehave, you know where to come. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, to please be in their places. Good health, God bless you. That's all that we can say. Good luck, good health, God bless you, and guide you all.
That's all that we can say. Good luck, good health.